Coming to the detailed analysis of the poem, The Flea, let's take up the first stanza of the poem. Mark but this flea, and mark in this how little that which thou deniest me is. Now these are the first two verses of the poem. To understand them, let me give you again a slight context. John Donne is addressing his beloved who is coy, who is shy, who is denying him love. So there comes a flea, and this flea perhaps is sitting maybe on the hand of his beloved, on the face of his beloved, or on some other part of his beloved, and then John Donne is taking the attention of his beloved towards the flea, and he tells her, see this flea, mark this flea, see this flea, look at this flea, and this flea is doing the same thing to you which you are denying me. Now this same thing is again metaphorical. I told you earlier that this poem will not talk directly about physical love or sexual activity, but indirectly it would imply those things, and flea is a dominant image for that matter. And he says that you have been denying me love, but look now what this flea is doing to you. Now what is this flea doing to his beloved? It sucked me first and now sucks thee. Now he tells his beloved, that is the poet, that this flea which is now sitting on you first sat on my hand, say for example, and sucked my blood, and now is on your body, and now it's sucking your blood. Now what does this sucking of blood mean to John Donne or to poet? Now remember, John Donne is here using all his wit and metaphysical contents of his poetry and his imagination. He is saying that this is the loss of virginity, this is the loss of maidenhood, this is a sexual activity, this sucking of blood of the flea, first of mine and then of yours. What would this act lead to? Let's find out. And in this flea our two bloods mingled be. Now see what has happened. Since this blood has sucked the bloods of both me and yours, and that blood is in his belly. Now you can imagine, a flea sucking the blood and then, swallowing, his belly swallows up. The blood is in its belly now. Both the blood of poet and the blood of John, his beloved. Now this blood is not the blood actually here. This blood would mean maybe a baby. We say when we talk about our children and others, we say ye mera khoon hai, he is my blood, isn't it? So this blood would be for that. And he further says, thou knowest that this cannot be said is sin nor shame nor loss of maidenhead. Now what will you tell me? And now you know that this is not sin, this is not shame, this is not loss of maidenhead, but this has happened. How would you deny the fact that this hasn't happened? And you have been just denying this thing for me now for no reason. What you denied it up to this point, maybe there was a reason, but now since the flea has sucked my blood and then sucked your blood, and the blood of both of us is inside it, now there must not be any reason for denying me. And now it's no more shame, it's no more loss of maidenhead, because that has already been lost. Yet this enjoys before it woo, and pampered swells with one blood made of two. It enjoys. Who enjoys? The flea. When did it enjoy? When it was sucking the blood. Now this joy would be similar to the joy of mating, for example. And he says, and pampered swells with one blood made of two. It becomes happy, and its belly swells because now the blood of mine and yours in it. Now this swallowing is again being pregnant, are becoming pregnant. Now what John Donne is trying to say, he is convincing his beloved that she has lost her virginity, she has lost her maidenhead. Now there is no reason for her denial. Now how has she lost all these things? Through flea. Now that's exaggeration, that's hyperbolic, that's metaphysical, and that's the wit of John Donne. And this, alas, is more than we would do. And he says that this This is something that is much more than we would do. He says that you have become pregnant, the baby is there, everything has happened. Now I am not asking you more than that. And I don't know what is it that makes you halt, that makes you stop, that makes you deny. That was the first stanza of the poem. Now, as I said, that this poem is about persuading the beloved. And the argument that John Donne is making is a weird one, is a strange one, is metaphysical in nature. You would say that what kind of a poetry is this? And truly, what kind of a poetry is this? John Donne himself was not comfortable reading these poems in public or letting these poems come in public, for he feared for his image. But then these poems became famous because of the uniqueness in the argument that he would come up with. So we come to know from the first stanza that there is a flea, and John Donne is making an argument to his beloved through this flea that she has lost her virginity, she has lost her maidenhood, she has almost become pregnant, and then he is asking her for something which she is denying, which is something that perhaps is not fair. That was stanza 1. Now we'll come to the second stanza of this poem. Oh, stay! 3 lives in 1 flea spare. Now, what happens? Perhaps the beloved of the poet is trying to kill the flea. Now, as she takes her hand to kill this flea, John Donne catches hold of her hand and tells her to stay, to stop. Don't kill the flea, because there are 3 lives in the flea. Another witty argument. How are there 3 lives in the flea? One is the life of Flea himself, the other is the blood of John Donne, and then there is the blood of his beloved. So he said that there are 3 lives present in this flea. So it won't be a right thing to kill it, to kill the flea. But John Donne's beloved is trying to kill him, and he is trying to stop her from killing. Nay, more than married are. What are you doing? You are killing this flea. In this flea, we are almost married. And it won't be right to kill him. Now, he has taken this marriage to the extent of pregnant. There is life in that flea. So, you cannot kill your own child. You cannot kill what is perhaps our marriage. You cannot kill our marriage for that matter. The flea is you and I. Now, look, this is again metaphysical. The flea is you and I. He is comparing himself and his beloved to this flea. Rather, not only comparing, but using a metaphor that we are the flea and this our marriage bed. What is our marriage bed? The flea is our marriage bed. In this flea is, perhaps our procreation, our child, our life, our blood. And marriage temple is. What is marriage temple? The flea. Now this marriage temple is again here sarcastic in nature, a satire on the the stance of perhaps church towards the marriage or towards the lovemaking. Though parents grudge and we are met. Whatever the case be, your parents are not happy with our meeting, you are not happy, that is fine. Your parents are still not happy, you still are not convinced, but the fact of the matter is we are married, and we are married through this flea, and you cannot kill it now. Spare his life, stop killing it. And cloistered in these living walls of jet. Cloistered is again an attack on the Catholics and the church of that particular time. Cloistered is the one who is away from these worldly things, these worldly activities or these worldly pleasures. So he's just making a mark on those two. Though yous make you apt to kill me, let not to that self-murder added be. If you want to kill me, that's fine. If you want to kill me, or if you kill me, that's not a problem. Killing me is not a big deal, is not a big problem. You can kill me, but then the fact is, let not to that self-murder added be. Why are you committing suicide? Why are you killing yourself? Now, how is his beloved killing herself? By killing the flea. Because he said that there are three lives in the flea. One is the life of the poet, the life of the flea, the life of his beloved. And he tells his beloved that it's fine if you want to kill me, okay, but don't kill yourself. Why you are becoming a part of those who commit suicide? That's not fair. And sacrilege, 3 sins in killing 3. And do you know, you are not killing one flea, but you are committing a sacrilege, a grave sin, a great sin. And you know, this grave sin is killing 3 lives. Now that is the wit of John Donne. That is metaphysicalness in this poem, and a proof of John Donne being a metaphysical poet. He is telling her that you should not kill this flea, because if you kill it, you are killing 3 persons, and that is huge sin. That is great sin. That was the second stanza of this poem. And what we have in the second stanza is that the beloved of the poet intends to kill the flea, and poet is making all the efforts to stop his beloved from killing the flea. But the beloved seems to be very angry with the flea and is hell bent to kill it. Now we will take up the third stanza and find out if the beloved is successful in killing the flea, or is poet successful in saving the life of the flea. First verse of the third stanza reads, "Cruel and sudden hast thou since purpled thy nail." Cruel. Seems his beloved has killed the flea, and he calls her cruel. You are cruel. You are tyrannical. You are bad. You have at the end, purpled your nail. Perhaps she killed this, flea like this, and the blood came out of the body of the flea, and that blood, was there over her nails. इसके खून से बिलाखिर तूने अपने हाथ रंग ही लिए. We say that you have purpled your nails with the blood of the flea. You have killed this blood. How cruel you are. In blood of innocence. Whose blood? In blood of innocence. It was an innocent being. And you have not killed one innocent, you have killed 3 innocent people for that matter. Wherein could this flea guilty be? Tell me, what was its guilt? Where was it guilty? What wrong did it commit? Where did it do anything wrong to you that you punished it with the death sentence, that you killed it? It was not guilty. It was innocent. And there were 3 innocent lives in it. And I made all possible arguments before. I told you that you should not kill it, you should not kill it. You still killed it, except in that drop which it sucked from thee. What was its guilt? Where was it wrong? What was its mistake? That it sucked that one drop of blood from your body? Is it for that you have killed it? That shame, that sin, that sacrilege. Yet thou triumphest and sayest that thou findest not thyself, nor me the weaker now. And do you think that you have triumphed? You have become victorious? You have become successful? You have become great? You have become more powerful after killing this flea, after killing me, and you think that you have overcome me, and now I have become weaker? What kind of a victory is this? What kind of a sin is this? What kind of an act is this? 'Tis true. Then learn how false fears be. If it's true that you fancy this as your victory, then you must know about your fears. You have, out of the fear, you have killed an innocent being. The error is there in you. The guilt is there in you. The mistake is there in you. You are fearful. What are you fearing from? You are fearing from the culture. You are fearing from the society. You are fearing from your parents. You are fearing from those who are stopping you to enter into this marriage. And out of that fear, which was your problem, you killed this flea. Just so much honor when thou yieldest to me will waste. Did you kill this flea for your honor? What honor? How much honor? This much honor? Tomorrow you are going to yield yourself to me. Tomorrow you are going to lose all your maidenhead. You are going to get married. And for this thing you killed this flea? What kind of honor is this? All that honor will go waste, as this flea's death took life from thee. You killed this flea as if this flea had killed you. As if when this flea sucked your blood, that was going to kill you. But that was not the case. This flea was innocent. Your honor for which you killed him or killed it, this honor is not going to be with you forever and ever. You are going to give it up, waste it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But today you have done a great sacrilege. Today you have committed a great sin. Today you have committed a great wrong. And what is that wrong? That is killing of the flea. That was the poem Flea. It was the last stanza particularly was more aggressive in nature, so I also became slightly aggressive. That was the poem The Flea. It is a love poem in nature, and more so persuading his beloved for love, and the beloved seems to be either very coy or very stubborn to all the arguments of the lover. She is not ready to give herself unto the wishes or desires of a lover, and the lover makes a case through Flea by saying that what you are denying me has already been done by the flea. And that makes his beloved more angry, and she also kills the flea. Though the poet tries to or attempts to stop his beloved from killing the flea by telling her that this flea is you, you cannot kill yourself, you can kill me but you cannot kill yourself. But the poet fails, the lover fails, and eventually the beloved kills the flea. That is all we have at your academy today. This was a short poem. I hope that you were able to understand this poem and this lecture was helpful for you. If this lecture was helpful for you, do share, like and comment on this video. And do visit your academy. At your academy's homepage, you can browse through many lectures. You can go to the playlist section, and in playlist sections you will have many lectures on theory, on criticism, on poetry, on novels, on dramas, on anything you wish. Thank you for watching, and keep watching your academy.